it's a really, really exciting day. And obviously I'm humbled by the opportunity to join the team at Circle. I think the task at hand is an enormous one, and it builds on all of the momentum the company has established and builds on the relationships and the important sort of set of stakeholders we have to map to around the world. So genuinely really over the moon at the opportunity to join you and the rest of the Circle team. I think the momentum is a starting point. I think the wind is in the sails of the company, and the timing, if nothing else, really shows why these types of innovations are so critical, and the fact that they should be private sector led, but with a deep sense of first principles and alignment with public sector priorities. Circle is doing that. It's an operational business. It's not an aspirational one. And what you've demonstrated as a company is that, where the markets or public policy has fallen short by making the financial system more inclusive, more participatory, reducing friction and cost, Circle is showing that through technology and through the momentum behind USDC. So I think that's one piece of the puzzle. The other piece of the puzzle is the approach. Designing on public blockchains is about competition. It's about exponential gains in financial access and in shared prosperity. These are deeply held beliefs by me, and anybody who knows me knows that that's what I've stood for over my career. And so I think all of this conspires with a deep need in the world for more inclusive internet level financial services. And Circle is literally at the center of that. In the last 24 months, I've absolutely had a front row seat in this space. And in the time before that, I've been very deeply engaged in how exponential technology and the case for digital transformation and public good start to align. And if you ever needed a revelation at the urgency of this type of mission, look at 2020 and look at all the difficulties we've had and how we continue to exact the highest price from the people who could afford it the least for things that I personally believe are human rights, and access to the financial system is one of those. And I think that the roadmap ahead is one in which there's much more convergence and alignment between public sector priorities and private sector priorities and investments. And we have to think of the types of opportunities, hence the value of building on open blockchains, the value of building in a manner that's pro-competition and pro-compliance is all about raising all ships. In a world where 90% of the central banks are thinking of some form of digitization of their national currencies, these types of platforms really show the art of the possible when it comes to evolving financial systems that are often sclerotic, backward-looking, and frankly, very risky in their current form. So the case for change, I think, is one we could carry around the world. There's a lot of appetite amongst global stakeholders to get this balance right. The opportunity to get this right is now, and the stakes couldn't be higher, both at the private sector level and market participants who are really contributing to normalizing the asset class and to normalizing the fact that value can be transferred with the type of speed, the type of security, and the type of instantaneity that the internet has allowed for with information and communications, that now is no longer an abstraction. We could trust at a fundamental level that these types of digital innovations are here to stay, and that the more we could then bridge the gap in public policy on things like identity, authentication, financial crimes compliance, global access, and connectivity, that's the real breakthrough. That's where humanity and prosperity and the internet and technology will start to move in lockstep. And that to me is the real breakthrough. So needless to say, I'm excited about what Circle represents because it's so much bigger than digital currency, and it's so much bigger than digitally native financial services and sort of integrated financial services at enterprise scale. It's also about all of those adjacent opportunities like digital identity, KYC, and really showing that financial inclusion, innovation, and financial integrity are not trade-offs. There's no tension here if you get this recipe right.